Hi, I'm Scott Schreiner. I'm the Associate Editor of Record Publishing Company's weekly newspapers, and I'm here with Ron Waite, our General Manager. He has graciously agreed to spend a few moments talking with me about the Oscars, the Academy Awards coming up on Sunday, February 22nd. And I have just a little background. I'm a big movie fan, and I recently found out that Ron also is too. And you know, flatter ourselves, we like to think we're a little knowledgeable about movies and the industry. So the Academy Awards are like the Super Bowl for movie fans, and we're going to just talk for a few minutes a little bit about some of the main categories, what we think will win, and in some cases what we wish would win. So I guess I'll start with the big one. I'll start with Best Picture.
Okay.
Best Picture this year, there are 8 movies nominated, and I don't say this every year, I've seen them all and I really like them all. I really think I would highly recommend any of them. That said, I think the winner this year is going to be Boyhood, a movie that came out last summer. I think it's going to be a big winner. I think it'll take Supporting Actress for Patricia Arquette and also Best Director for Richard Linklater in addition to Best Picture. Basically, this is a story about a family, 2 kids and their divorced parents, and it's told over the course of 12 years, and the movie actually took 12 years to film. They got together every few months, or every few years basically, and filmed for a few weeks, and you're seeing these people grow up right in front of your eyes, and it's quite an achievement, and seems kind of unique in terms of an approach to a movie, and I think it's going to win. It's not my personal choice for Best Picture maybe, but I wouldn't mind if it won.
No.
Ron might have some different ideas.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one, Scott. Boyhood, I will say the concept over 12 years of filming something and actually seeing the child star grow physically over that time period is a great concept. I agree with that. But I think the overall performance and adaptation was lacking. I don't think the characters ever really evolved that I could really grasp onto the story. I think most of the time the acting wasn't that great, and I think the whole premise, there was nothing really compelling in the storyline that wanted to keep you riveted for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I will disagree. I think she will win, Patricia Arquette will win, but I don't think she's deserving of it. I thought her performance was very lacking. I thought it was very staged, and at the same time for these actors to pick up year after year after a segment and get developed back into that character is a challenge. I get that, because when you're filming a film, you're in that role for, you know, the 6 months that you're doing it. You're filming constantly. And to do it and pick up, I think that was the biggest challenge, and unfortunately I just don't think they carried it off.
Yeah, you know, I've heard this movie's gotten a lot of awards already in award season, and I think that I've heard some criticisms now. There's a little bit of backlash. Truth be told, yeah, not a lot really happens in the movie. No. It's not a movie that if you haven't seen it, it's I think out on DVD now. You shouldn't expect there to be huge dramatic events in this family's life. It's really a very intimate, small little story about ordinary people, which I did find compelling. I see your point though. Yeah. In terms of what I wish would win Best Picture, and I didn't love, but I liked quite a bit all 8 of the movies. But when I pick favorites, as a movie fan, I tend to go on a simple criteria, which is how fast or how quickly do I want to see this movie a second time. And on that level, Birdman is the winner for me for Best Picture. This is just a fun, unique movie. I said unique before, but if you haven't seen it, Michael Keaton in this film plays and sort of a washed-up movie star. He used to be known years ago for playing a superhero called Birdman, and he quit that role, and now he's back and he's trying to mount a Broadway show years later, but he's kind of a nobody, and the movie is a whole lot of things. It's sort of a comment on fame and vanity and where that takes you in life. It's also a very bitingly funny satire, and it's also on a simple level of very funny backstage comedy. I happen to be a theater guy, so to watch this movie on the level of what goes into trying to put on a Broadway show and the complications that can happen. It's got great supporting performances too by Edward Norton and Emma Stone, also nominated. Yeah.
I think you're right. I think Birdman should win it. I think that's probably the biggest competition for Boyhood for that role. But I think there's a couple dark horses there. One is I think American Sniper is a dark horse. I think it's gained a lot of traction here in the last 2 months. And I think that may creep in there. And I think Bradley Cooper did a phenomenal job. But the other dark horse, I think, is The Theory of Everything.
Oh gosh, yes.
I think it was a great movie.
Stephen Hawking.
And it's the only movie that could win the Triple Crown. It could get Best Picture, Best Actress, and Best Male Actor. It's the only movie that has a person in all three categories.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks a lot to that you have 2 acting awards and the movie.
Yeah.
So I think that could be, I think that's the one I think should win because I think it has everything in it.
Theory of Everything is definitely it's a really good movie and a kind of a more traditional movie that you might think of when you're thinking of an Academy Award nominated film. Boyhood and Birdman are kind of out of the box a bit, both of them, but yeah.
But I think also all the Big Bang Theory fans out there will root for that one since Stephen Hawking's always showing up in Big Bang Theory.
Of course, yeah, you gotta love that. And oh gosh, the 2 performances, Eddie Redmayne and Felicity Jones in those Best Actor and Actress nominated performances in The Theory of Everything are terrific. Both of them.
Absolutely.
Speaking of acting, I'll move to Best Actor. That category, I think who's going to win it is Michael Keaton for Birdman. And
I'm going to agree with you on
that. I'm not, and I would not argue with that. I'm a Michael Keaton fan, and this is his first nomination. The guy's, I think, 64 or 65, and he's been around for so long. We all know him, but he's a little bit almost kind of an underrated actor in a way who's never really gotten a lot of awards recognition. And he does an amazing job in this movie.
It's a great acting performance by Michael Keaton, and all of you out there is going to remember him that, one of his big first breakout was Mr. Mom.
Oh, yeah.
But then he's Batman, and now he's taken on a role. But I think you're right. I think not only should he deserve it because he gives a great performance in it, but he's also going to get the sentimental vote because he's been around for so long. Many of these actors have worked with him over the years. He's always been a great character actor, so I think he's deserving of this.
Absolutely. He's, speaking of character acting, he is really, some of his really good roles are character actor roles. And for my money, the last really good role he had was 18 years ago in Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown. He was a terrific performance. And Michael Keaton's the only guy in the Best Actor category who's not playing a real life person. The rest of them all are real people. So this is a totally original creation. Now, who would I choose? As much as I love Michael Keaton, I had to think about this because all 5 of these performances are really good. I really think I have to go with Bradley Cooper. You mentioned American Sniper earlier, which has been this unexpected monster hit, as well as getting a lot of nominations. And he just does something. I've been a fan of his in some of his previous movies already, but I've just never seen him do anything like this before. He really kind of gets inside the soul of this contemporary American hero character and really feel, and physically and vocally, it's something that we've never seen Bradley Cooper do before.
No, he really brings the emotional impact of being a sniper and what that means. And I think you're right. It's really a breakout role for him, setting him apart from, all of the other, more blockbuster hits that he's had. This is really showing and stretching his acting ability. The other one that's a breakout is Steve Carell.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, this is just so different than any role that he's played.
Unrecognizable.
It is, and I think that's going to be the part that's why he's not going to win.
Yeah.
He's not recognizable. People just like, well, okay, and they're not going to give him credit for that. But you're right. I think all 5 actors, I think this year I feel, hey, they all did an outstanding performance and they all are deserving of it. But I think you're right. I think Michael Keaton's going to walk away with it. And I think deservingly so.
Yeah, it's like I'm certainly not going to boo when he walks up there to get that award. So Best Actress, to move on to that one, okay, I'm going to full disclosure here. I pride myself on seeing all the movies, but there are 2 of the 5 performances in the Best Actor category that I have not seen, and they are Julianne Moore's performance in Still Alice and Marianne Cotillard's performance in 2 Days, One Night. And I think Julianne Moore is going to win. She's won a whole lot of awards so far this year, and she's been nominated 4 times before and never won. I'm a big fan of hers, so I think that's great for her, but I can't speak about her performance because I haven't seen the movie. Of the 3 that I've seen, I would most definitely vote for Reese Witherspoon in Wild. I saw that movie, went into it not really having a whole lot of high expectations for it, I have to admit. I like Reese Witherspoon, but I think like a lot of people, even though she has an Oscar for a lovely performance as June Carter Cash in Walk the Line, I tend to think of her a little bit more in the Legally Blonde type framework, and I don't think of her as a dramatic actress necessarily. And this performance in Wild it's gutsy and emotional and sort of raw, and it's very impressive, I think.
It's again, as we keep using this word over and over, but it's a breakout role for her because she's been America's sweetheart. She's done the romantic comedies. I mean, she's just the darling next door, and this is really a good breakout movie for her. It's, to see her grow in that path. I think that she is deserving of it, but she won't get it. Also, Julianne Moore, she's just awesome every movie she does. She's such a great performance there. But I don't know, I mean, it could go the sentimental. She's 4 and out. I mean, when is it, they're going to say, is she deserving this time? Yeah. But again, I think Felicity Jones, I just thought that
in the Theory of Everything,
yes, Theory of Everything, I think that she could be the Dark Horse Surprise winner.
Yeah.
You noticed over the years, it was always that the Golden Globes were set the stage for the Oscars because a lot of them repeated there. But over the last few years, that theory has just been abolished.
It's been
not there.
It's
still anybody's game out there. But at this point in time, I think that it will probably be Julianne Moore will take it away. But again, Felicity and Reese definitely could sneak in there.
Yeah, Felicity Jones, we've already talked about the Theory of Everything, but she's one of the impressive things about how she stands out is that her performance is much less showy than Eddie Redmayne playing Stephen Hawking, and understandably she's his first wife, and it's just a quieter, less physical role, but it's so well done.
Yeah, and that's the thing that why Eddie is not really going to be in contention for that, because a lot of actors are going to look at him and say, well, it was really more of a physical role, not an acting role.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Yeah, maybe a little unfair, but true.
True. Yeah, it tends to go that way sometimes.
Absolutely.
Anytime somebody has to play that role, they feel you're getting more of the attention because you've conformed or you're playing the disability more than you are the acting.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I wasn't going to do that. I'll do one more really quick, because if you're still watching, you're probably with us and you want us to keep going. So I'm just going to quickly say Best Supporting Actor is the only one we haven't touched on, the only big one. And I'm pretty sure that this one is a lock for J.K. Simmons in the movie Whiplash. And I gotta say, have you seen it? I forget. I have to say, this movie, if you haven't seen Whiplash, and a lot of people haven't, because it's kind of been a small released movie, but J.K. Simmons plays a jazz band conductor at kind of a prestigious Juilliard type school. And he just physically and verbally abusive to his students in a way that there was no scarier villain to me in 2014 movies than him. I don't remember, for example, who the bad guys were in Guardians of the Galaxy or Spider-Man 2 or Captain America 2, but I will remember J.K. Simmons in Whiplash for a long time. I felt like I'd had the wind knocked out of me.
I think with villains, as you said, some of those other blockbusters, those villains are more scary in their appearance or their size and things of that nature. He was emotionally scary.
Yep.
He just, there's the type of person you just don't want to be around because you're going to walk away demoralized.
Yeah.
And he played that very well, and I mean, I think that's one of the ones I think he is deserving. He walked away with the Golden Globe, the SAG Award, and I think he'll walk away with the Oscar, and deservingly so, and I think it's a far stretch. As some of you out there say, who is this guy? If you ever see the State Farm commercials where they're at the college learning about insurance and everything, he's the guy, the teacher, the professor there. So he's much nicer there than he is in Whiplash, though. So if you go there, be prepared because it's a little bit, it will suck you in and get emotional when you see what he does to these kids.
Yeah, it wears you out, that movie. Really quick before we end, I posted on our paper's Facebook pages a question about who do you think is going to win this year, who do you want to win, and I just want to share a couple of responses from you. One comment I got was, Boyhood. Someone says, the direction allowed for a unique perspective in watching a child naturally grow up over 12 years' time. This film offers an interesting view into the normal American life and how it can affect a personality and a family. Another person said, for Best Picture, Imitation Game. Brilliant acting, great story based on real history. And for Best Actor, this person also picked Benedict Cumberbatch in that movie as Alan Turing.
He should just win just because I like to say his name.
Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch, what a name. Yeah, I mean, and this person picked for Best Actress Rosamund Pike from Gone Girl. She played evil very well. And
that's the one movie I didn't see.
Have you read the book?
No, my daughter's read the book, my wife saw the movie, but she told me about it. It's just not one of those ones that really I would find very interesting.
I thought the book was really good. I thought the movie was really good. I didn't find either of them fun. They're just unhappy people doing terrible things to each other. And I think Rosamund Pike was good. It's just hard for me to think of it in those terms almost. It was such an unpleasant experience. And J.K. Simmons, who this person also votes for, saying, holy cow, that was one intense performance. Agreed. Same thing.
Now, who's hosting this year?
Neil Patrick Harris.
And he's the one that got killed in Gone Girl.
That's right. Yeah, he gets killed in Gone Girl, but he comes back to host the Oscars for his first time.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
It should be very entertaining.
Well, that's all we got for you, but I hope you enjoyed this. And Ron, thank you very much.
Thank you. This was fun.
great. See you at the movies.